If you know that you desire something, if you know that you desire to experience something, but you haven't been consistent in thinking as the version who has it, then why is that? Why are you not showing up for yourself? Why are you not loving yourself in that way to tell yourself that you have exactly what you want? Now that you're here, if you haven't done so already, I would like to invite you to join the free Discord community that I created and to also download your free Manifest My Dream Life ebook. The link for both of those will be in the description below. Other than that, let's go ahead and get into the video. So, a big thing that I have been practicing for myself for this year, even though we just finished the first month of the year, something that I told myself that I was going to do is prioritize myself. And that's something that I haven't done all of the years prior. I am a big people pleaser and I will people please till I stretch myself super thin. And I know I've mentioned that in a couple of videos, but with today's video for Monday Motivation, I definitely want to give you the motivation of prioritizing yourself. If you do feel like you're a person who is a people pleaser or you show up for everybody else, then this is my message to you because it's time for you to show up for yourself. It is time for you to step into that higher version of you, but really stop putting all of the focus and attention outside of you and bring it back in. Because I feel like when you practice self-prioritization, that is a form of self-love. And when you practice self-love, it just makes you a full and whole version of yourself. And I don't know, you just really tap into your power. You just get more motivated about yourself, about your own life. And at least that's what I've experienced myself. But what does that even look like, prioritizing yourself? You know, there are physical actions that you may be taking that you don't even realize are falling into you not prioritizing yourself. And I'm talking about the simplest and smallest task. Like it could be something as simple as you may not like dishes in the sink, but you notice that you're leaving dishes in the sink more often and you're not washing them. Like, why are you not washing the dishes if you don't like dishes in the sink? That is a way of prioritizing yourself. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead and wash them when you see them. Get them done when you know that they should be done. Same thing like, when people do laundry, if you are doing laundry and you don't like clothes laying around, but instead you let them pile up and you're digging through the basket, like, why would you do that to yourself if that's something that you don't like, for one, and you're supposed to be prioritizing yourself? And I equate things like that to, let's just say a friend of yours calls you and they need you to show up for them, whatever it is that they need, but you drop what you're doing to go show up for them. Is that you prioritizing yourself or prioritizing another person? And in my opinion, that's you prioritizing another person. So if we're so willing to just go and do for other people, when do you have that same energy for yourself? When do you give yourself that same energy? And the way that I translate that into like the law of assumption and manifestation and stuff is, if you are in a reality right now, you are a version of yourself who is claiming that you have your desire, but you're not seeing it instantly. In my opinion, repetition is what is required. Consistency is what is required. Discipline is what is required. And I don't know how anybody else may feel about that, but if this message resonates, then absolutely, take it. But at least for my own experience, when you are deciding that you want to experience something, because that's all manifestation is, it's you deciding what you're going to experience. It's not a maybe kind of thing. It's not a what if or it's a possibility. No, it is, your reality is a reflection of you. So whatever you tell your subconscious repeatedly, whatever your dominant thoughts are, that is what becomes an experience for you. And because it becomes an experience, it now becomes a belief because of that. So whatever you're persisting in, whatever you are constantly telling yourself, that is what you are manifesting. That is you deciding on what you're going to experience. Literally, in my opinion, that's what manifestation is. Like, and it's going to work accurately every single time. So if we know that, if we know that's the formula, if we know that's how it works and it's going to work effortlessly every single time, then how are you prioritizing yourself in that aspect when it comes to your desires? Are you the version of you who is thinking that you still have work to do, that you don't have it, that it's so hard or it's impossible or everybody else can get their manifestation except for me? Like, Prioritizing yourself also equates to self-love, and talking to yourself in those kind of ways is not a form of self-love. Telling yourself what you can't have, telling yourself what's not possible for you, telling yourself what other people can do but you can't do, like none of that stuff is true. For one, it's just an identity that you're choosing to experience. And because you can choose any identity, you can choose any version of yourself to experience. Why would you choose the one that is experiencing lack? And it just takes you being disciplined enough to let go of that identity. You know what I mean? And when you really want to love yourself, when you really want to prioritize yourself, and you want to give yourself the best experience ever in this life, in this game of life, whatever you want to call it, that is you talking to yourself only in the most beautiful way, telling yourself what is possible for you, telling yourself what you're going to experience. And I get it. Everybody is at a different level of consciousness right now. Everybody is at a different level of comprehension when it comes to you are the creator of your reality. There's no way around that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, you create your reality, whether you believe it's you're co-creating with God, source, the universe, or whatever it is that you believe in. But as long as you understand that you still have something to do with it, like, you're creating your experience. So if you are in control, why would we talk to ourselves in such a way that is so negative? Because your emotions are a manifestation from your thoughts. Your feelings are a manifestation of your thoughts. So if you're telling yourself what you can't do, what's not possible for you, what is hard and what's taking too long, that is also manifesting your feelings. And you feel like these things are not possible for you. You can't experience your desires. And it's just not true. It is just not true. And the problem is you haven't consistently been that version of you who has what you want enough to experience what it is that you want. And I just believe that if you don't have what you desire to experience yet, then you haven't consistently been the version of you who has it. And when you love yourself, when you are practicing self-love and you make yourself a priority, you realize that you're talking to yourself in a negative way and you're like, you know what? No, let me prioritize myself. Let me love me and let me tell myself what I do actually have. Because by me doing that, that's what is going to show up in my reality. That is what is going to reflect. And I intend that makes sense, and I intend this message resonates for you. But if you are somebody who has been giving and doing and pouring everywhere else but into yourself, I want you to start pouring into yourself. All right. I know we have the 14-day SP challenge going on for Valentine's Day. Your SP already has plans for you. Like, the plans are already made, reservations are already made, everything is booked. Like, you're going to be spending Valentine's Day with your SP. You know what I mean? So that's giving yourself self-love, knowing that you are catered to, knowing that you are loved, knowing that you are taken care of. Like, that is a form of self-love. That is you knowing that your reality is going to show exactly what it is that you want. You have that desired love. You have that right now. And because you have that, you don't have to go and search and look and do everything outside of yourself for it. You go within. Everything starts from within anyway. And self-love, self-prioritization all comes from within. Put yourself first. Put yourself first. I know society is like, oh, that's selfish. You need to think about others. But if you've been the person who is constantly thinking about others, then you need to be the version of you who puts yourself first. You need to be the version of you who is showing up for their self daily. If you know that you desire something, if you know that you desire to experience something, but you haven't been consistent in thinking as the version who has it, then why is that? Why are you not showing up for yourself? Why are you not loving yourself in that way to tell yourself that you have exactly what you want? What is keeping you from being consistent? Is it a fear of actually getting what you want? Is it a fear of possibly failing? You can't fail, because if you've shown yourself that you can consistently think about negative things that you don't even see physical evidence for, and you can consistently think that something negative might happen, and it's so easy for you to do that, and then that negative thing does happen, it was so easy for you to do that. You had no fear that, oh, it might go the right way. No, you just feared that it was going to go the wrong way, and it did. But you haven't given yourself the opportunity to be excited about something, to know that something is yours and that you're going to have it and experience in your reality because you have it now. You haven't experienced that side of the spectrum because you're so consistent with being the opposite. Be consistent in being the version of you who loves their self, prioritizes their self, shows up for their self every single day as the version who has whatever it is that you are manifesting right now. Because you're not manifesting it, you're just being the version who has it. And when you are the version who has it, it has to show up in your reality. And I don't care if you're that version of yourself who has it today, tomorrow, a week later, 2 months later, you are still to remain that version of yourself who has it. No matter what the reality shows you, no matter what. And if you feel like your manifestations are taking too long or they're moving too slow or you just don't see no movement, then because you're aware of those things, you need to create an affirmation that is the opposite of that. If you feel like things aren't moving, you need to tell yourself things are always moving. If you feel like things are taking too long, then you need to tell yourself how fast you got your desire. If you feel like things are too hard, then you need to tell yourself how easy it is. Whatever you are complaining about, change the complaints to work in your favor, because you're always creating. You're always in creator mode. You're never not creating. So pay attention to the areas that you complain in the most, and flip those complaints. Stop complaining so much, because the complaints are only maybe keeping you stagnant. They are only maybe making your reality seem like you're not going to get your desire, but you're always going to get your desire as long as you don't give up on it. Like I've said in another video, you're not giving up on a manifestation. You're just accepting what you don't want. You're just allowing a reality to exist, and you're allowing yourself to exist in a reality where you don't have what you want. That's all you're accepting when you give up, because there is no giving up. There's no such thing. You either have what you want or you don't have it. And if you accept the fact that you don't have it, your reality is going to reflect that. And if you accept the fact that you do have it, then your reality is going to reflect that too. It works both ways. But one way seems to feel a lot easier, and that's not how you love yourself. When you are dwelling in that negative state of what's not possible, and no. Everything is possible for you. All right. Love yourself, prioritize yourself, put yourself first, and your reality will reflect that as well. Like, it just has to reflect who you are being. And I can say that over and over again. I know other content creators can say that over and over again. Like, you're going to experience what you think about most often. Who are you being? What is the version of you that you are deciding to be? And all of your manifestation methods and techniques and routines and all of that stuff is meant to help you stay in that version of yourself. It's meant to help you continue to be that version of yourself. It's the training wheels on a bicycle. That's it. And then eventually you don't need the methods, you don't need the techniques, because you know exactly what to do to get what it is that you want, to have it physically and to experience it physically. And if you are a person who feels like being consistent, being disciplined is just something that you, for one, recognize and realize that you have not done before, you know that you haven't been consistent with your manifestations, you know that you're not disciplined and you're not showing up the way that you should, and you've recognized that, then I have created a consistency workshop, because I also realized that stuff within myself. There were things that I would be consistent for, and then there were other things that I didn't be consistent for. And I realized that I can't be the only one that may struggle with consistency and discipline in some areas. Once you get yourself accustomed to being consistent and you get yourself accustomed to being disciplined, to showing up for you every single day and not showing up for other people every single day, then you tap into your power. You take all of your power back, honestly, and you know how to think as the version of you who has what they want consistently. You know what to do. You know how to show up. You know how to direct your thoughts. And that's really what manifestation also is. It's you deciding on what you're going to experience, but it's you also consciously directing those thoughts that were once upon a time hindering you, and keeping you stagnant, keeping you in this one same seeming reality where you didn't have what you wanted. So if you are somebody who is interested in, just having more consistency, having more discipline. I did create a workshop and it's available today. Today is the day that it goes live, February 3rd. And it will be available for you to join all the way up until February 5th. So you have until February 5th to join the consistency workshop. By February 6th, it will be over. I'm going to shut it off, and whoever has joined will be in that workshop. And the next one won't start until March 3rd. But with this workshop, I really created it because I wanted to show you all that you can be consistent, you can be disciplined, and it's so easy for you to show up for yourself. All you have to do is just implement a simple routine that you can show up for. Implement simple activities that you can do daily that hold you accountable, because you can turn on the TV every single day. You can scroll on your phone every single day. But for some reason, when it comes to you wanting to experience your desire, you hold yourself back. You don't be consistent. You lack routine. And yes, I do feel like you need a routine in the beginning. If you are a person who can think about your desire and you experience it, then no, you don't need a routine. If you are a person who can create your own routines, your own schedule, you can show up for yourself every single day, you are thinking as the version who has it, then no, you don't need a routine. But if you are somebody who feels like you try and you stop, or you do it a couple days, then you waver, or you show up for yourself a couple of days and then you drop the ball, you are who I am talking to, okay? Because you may lack consistency and discipline, and that is just what you need. When you the subconscious understands repetition. So if you are constantly showing up as the version of you who has it, just like you once upon a time constantly showed up as the version of you who didn't have something, and your reality showed that, just think about being consistent and showing yourself what you do have. And again, that is you prioritizing yourself. That is self-love. So if you are interested in joining the workshop, the link is in the description below. If you have any questions or comments about it, you are more than welcome to leave them in the comments for me, and I will answer them for you. But just to tie this whole video back together, the message is prioritize yourself. That is my theme for this entire year. And the biggest thing that I've been doing for myself is catching myself in little places, little habits where I'm not prioritizing myself. Something as simple as I'll let my gas light come on because I absolutely hate stopping at the gas station, and I will just drive home with the gas light on. That's not me prioritizing myself. If I know that I desire to experience something, then yes, I need to be setting aside a time to go and sit and affirm. If I can sit and scroll on my phone, or if I can go hang out with my friends and show up for other people, then I can show up for myself in ways that benefit me. And that's just something that I've been practicing all of January, and like I said, for the rest of this month. And I invite you all to do the same. If this message resonates and you realize you've been a people pleaser, okay? Take the next 30 days to not be a people pleaser. Take the next 30 days to focus on you, focus on yourself. Really pay attention to where you have been lacking and limiting yourself, and step into a new version of you. Think as a new version of you. Identify as a new version of you, because in my opinion, you're experiencing yourself every single day. Your reality is just you. You're experiencing you. What you believe about yourself, what you think dominantly about yourself, is the version of you that you are being. So it's not that you're ever trying to obtain or get something or make something happen for yourself, because it's all existing. It's all available to you. It's just, what version of you are you being? And are you the version of you who has what you want, or are you the version of you who doesn't have what you want? And if you keep being the version of you who doesn't have what you want, I feel like that is you not giving yourself self-love, because you can have anything and everything. This reality, this realm, this universe, all of this, there's infinite possibilities, infinite versions of you. Like, everything exists right now. So it's just about you. Everything is about you, the version of you that you are deciding to be, the version of you that you are showing up as every single day. So I motivate you all, and I intend that from this video, you just start to pay attention to that. You be aware of that, and you be the version of yourself who has what you want. Be that version right now, okay? You don't need a workshop. You don't need a coach. You don't need help. You don't need anything. You don't need any of that stuff, because you can just assume that you are that version and show up as that version. But yes, I did create the workshop for people who do need that helping hand. There are some people who may feel like they just need a helping hand, and they need somebody to hold them accountable so that they do show up for themselves. It's like training wheels. If you need the training wheels, then put them on. And if you don't need them, then right off into the sunset. You know what I mean? So if you have any questions or comments for me, please leave them down below. If you're interested in getting any coaching assistance or any type of membership services from me, you can look in the description below. The link for everything is down there. Other than that, if you watch this video until the end, I appreciate you so much, and I will see y'all in the next video.